It's way too early for the fake. This that real game for real bros. No decaf, no cap. Welcome to Shogun Bros, no decaf. Live every weekday, 6:30 in the morning, Central Time. Did you hear what I said? Central Time. We talk dogs, bloodline building to yard work, from stud talk to the truth behind the pups. This ain't no highlight reel. It's how you really build legacy. Shogun Bros, no decaf. Pull up, pull up, handle yours. This ain't just content. It's culture. Welcome to the cookout with Toyo, where family vibes meet front porch truth. No scripts, no filters, just heart, heat, and hot plates. Ooh. Step up with elevated perspective, with elevated game for grown men and women building mind, spirit, and vision. And men at work with pimps over simps. Choice. Real convos, no cap, all purpose for the men behind the mission. 3 shows, 1 network, all gas, no decaf. Put no creamer in my man. Look, Shogun Unlimited, man. Press play and get man. Come on, press play, press play.
Yo, Dickie Foster was good.
We in here, man. What's happening, man? It's Wednesday, April 16th, 2025. Tell me what's going down.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Topic of the day: pick of the litter, what to keep, what to cut.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Start
sir.
and finish was good, big dog. Let me see
Yes,
who else we got
sir.
in here. K1, what's good, big dog? Top of the morning, Hound Dog family.
Hey.
Mrs. McFarland in the building too. What's up? What's up? What's up?
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Love you, boo-boo.
Dirty Dog Kennel, what's good, big dog? Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning, man. Salute.
Hey.
Yeah, man. We getting up in this thing, man. Y'all already know, man. Pick of the litter, man. What to keep, what to cut, man. It ain't no secret. It's Shogun Bros. No decaf. First thing in the morning. This is binge-worthy content. Like literally the stuff we got going on right now, you can just binge it. You know what I'm saying? Just put on Shogun Bros and let it ride. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Binge-worthy content.
So what's good, Big A?
Hey, I can't call it, man. You know, good morning, man. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely a good morning. You know?
Sure.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So, you know what the Bushido code of the day is?
Nah, the email didn't come through.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm gonna need you to pilot this one.
Yeah. Bushido code of the day: integrity. You know, be honest with yourself about what you're building. You know, yeah. You know what I'm saying? So let's go ahead and move on, man. What we got for today, man, is we got the dog of the week, man. Who's the dog of the week?
Dog of the week is none other than Hattori Hanzo, owned by Pitwise Kennels. You know what I'm saying? Here he is, you know, good looking specimen, fine looking example of what the breed should be.
Yeah.
You know, shouts out to Pitwise for sharing this lovely animal with us, man. It's obvious you genuinely take care of your dogs, and not only do you take care of them, but ensure they meet the standard.
Yes, sir. Man, speaking of, man, we got a whole bunch of dogs in this week, man. We got some good looking dogs this week, man. Real good looking dogs, man. I already got I got one pick in mind already, you know. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
RBG, what's good, big dog?
Hey, what's happening?
Brother Jerry Hatton, salute.
Yeah.
Wes Walker, salute. Brother Tony, what a do, big dog.
Hey.
And Bad Batch 45, top of the morning. Yeah, man. So obviously, y'all know we got the digital dog show coming up for April. The big one is May. Like everybody talking about the May digital dog show, but let me not overshadow the April digital dog show. We do these things once a month. You can get in where you fit in. You know what I'm saying? We have a WhatsApp link. I'm gonna go ahead and put that in the chat today. We have a WhatsApp link for digital dog show. Videos must be no more than 2 minutes. They're submitted to our WhatsApp link, and then I need your cash app for payment, because when you win, we cash app you. The dog's name, age, color, and sex.
Yes, sir. All right, nutrition pack of the day is colostrum. You know, the first milk, rich in antibodies and essential for puppy immune development. Talk about that a little later, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
For sure.
Yes, sir. So, let's get into the subject, man. So, pick of the litter, bro. So, with pick of the litter, man, we had talked about this prior to, man, and you said, pick of the litter, it comes down to, I guess, a preference per person, I guess you could say. Because pick of the litter could be, just typically the first person's choice in some people's mind. And then on the back end, it could be, considered the best pick of the litter. How would you view that?
So we talked about this a while ago, but this is the actual topic today, so we don't cover the detail. So to me, pick and litter means I have unfettered access to pick whichever puppy out of the litter. That means if there's 7 puppies, I get to pick out of all 7. I get to see which qualities I like, which ones I don't like, and I get to pick. There is no restrictions. There is no, this one's being held for the kennel, or this one's held for my partner, you know what I mean? Or these ones are already destined to forever homes. There is none of that. It is, I get to pick out of all of the dogs which one I want. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is to me.
Yeah. So you bred the litter, and I mean, now what? So how would you go through the process of picking your pup? Because not every pup, as far as you personally, what your keepers? How would you go about picking your keepers?
Okay, so typically, like, I got team members, brothers, you know what I'm saying, homeboys, whatever, who I'm gonna, farm some out or pass them off to as gifts. And so I actually let them pick theirs first, you know what I'm saying? So I pick out of what's left over, If I got 5 and 3 are promised to somebody, then the last 2 I decide. I'll look at them too, and I'll establish which one my pick is, But I wouldn't say, I don't ever take the pick of the litter based on my ideology of what a pick of the litter is. I just pick the dog I pick the dog that I keep that has the qualities that I want.
Yeah. So have you ever picked a pup or picked the wrong pup per se?
Yep. It cost me money too.
And what did that do as far as setting you back as far as your progress?
Well, I didn't have the litter. I bought this dog from I outsourced it. And so I paid for what's called pick and litter, where you get, like what I was talking about, you get first choice. I paid a little bit extra to be able to filter through and pick which puppy I wanted. And the dog came, you know what I'm saying? And it was the personality of the dog was cool, the average bulldogger, you know what I'm saying? I can say average bulldog, but like the traditional bulldogger would have liked this dog a lot, very hot dog, you know what I'm saying, intense, like to play, like to tug, everything, but it couldn't do what I needed to do, so it just didn't work for what I was trying to accomplish, you know what I mean? And it cost money, I probably should have been looking for different things, so.
And what age did you find that out at?
Like 6 months.
6 months.
Like 6 months, yeah.
6 months.
You know what I'm saying? Like 6 months. So, let me say this: I don't look for some of the traditional things. You know what I mean? So, like I said, it would probably have worked very, very well in somebody else's yard, but the dog was just kind of all over the place, kind of scatterminded, and And that was a problem for me. You know what I'm saying? Like that was a problem for me because what I'm trying to do, I need dogs to do a specific thing when I tell them to do it, not when they want to do it.
Correct. Yeah, big facts. So, with that being said, man, so that was that at an earlier time in your in in your journey, or was that more recent in the more recent years?
That was about 6 years ago. You know, so
Okay.
I guess to me that's 6 years ago. Pretty recent.
Okay. So the reason I asked that is because in your two litter your litter with Kazi, you didn't necessarily pick Kazi. All you took the what was left over from the litter. What can you explain that to me?
Yeah, I mean, so I breed a litter, and for peace of mind of the people who are getting dogs from me, I allow them to choose based upon the order they came, the waiting list, right? So it's I really wanted them to have the options to. Okay, what I didn't want was, and I hate when I hear people say this, man, the breeder kept the best for themselves. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, nah, like I look at my dogs like, okay, I know what genetic lottery I'm putting together. It's still a gamble, but I know what genetic lottery I'm putting together. So any of these dogs should work out for me. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I feel about what I breed. So that was my logic behind it. I was like, I don't care which one you take. Like, you know what I'm saying? Whatever I keep is going to work for me. You know what I'm saying? It's going to work or it's going to be cold. Like, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'd rather the ones that leave make people happy, because I do believe that there's a certain touch that I have that makes it easier for me to help my dogs achieve what I need them to achieve, So I want to give the other dogs that leave the best opportunity to be successful in whatever camp they go to.
Okay. So the puppy that you picked 6 years ago, was that something that you bred yourself? Like, is that a creation of yours, or is that something that you picked from somebody else's yard?
Okay, so the puppy I got, I had a kennel partner at this time, and so I listened to him because he went with what he would have wanted on his yard. You know what I'm saying? Because at the time we was a combine, so it was I paid for picking litter. I actually wanted a male, and I ended up getting a female. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, no disrespect to the kennel I got it from, but like the dog wasn't the dog I wanted because the gender wasn't even appropriate for what I was trying to accomplish. But I listened to my kennel partner, because he had a male already. He's like, yeah, you should take it to my male, making plans, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, like he wanted her because she was she was the meanest, the hottest, you know what I'm saying, the just the most aggressive. Which I mean, like, for the hog hunt and stuff like that, like that's cool,
Yeah.
But she's just, I don't know, like she's just scatterminded. Like you can get ready to train, she all over the place. She's looking at birds, leaves, everything, And this is after being socialized and, spending time, the amount of time that I'm willing to spend with a dog that I consider a high aptitude, high intelligence dog. She didn't display those qualities, but she had other great qualities, you know what I'm saying? Like she was better than other dogs in some ways, but just not what I wanted.
Yeah. So, and that's why I was asking, because it's you had to pick the litter in that situation versus you having your own litter and you having the confidence in the pups that are on the ground to the point to where you can take the last. That that's a big difference. So in your choice of pups, would you choose? You don't have to choose coming from your own creation versus choosing from picking from the outside. And with that being said, like when you're looking at when you picking a pup, from first glance and just looking at them, if you get a view of the pups from 6 weeks to 8 weeks or whatever the case may be, what would you be looking for? Like structure and balance, like confidence and drive, or like more just a health and stamina, and then if you were to choose out of those, um Do looking at a litter from the outside, would you go off a gut feeling? You know,
Uh, it would be very difficult for me to look at a litter from the outside. Now, I would go to and trust the breeder. You know what I'm saying? Like just like people who come to me trust me. Um, but as far as looking at it from the inside, like if it's in house, I'm looking for health first.
hmm
So everybody needs to be healthy. So I have a wide spectrum to pick from. But then the second thing is, we do our aptitude and our temperament testing. So
yes,
uh, based upon the scores, I can have a better assessment of what works for me and what will work. For example, okay, I know a lot of people when they go to shows, they want a dog that's firing off, right? So okay, 4s, 5s, and 6s on our temperament scale. I know the person comes and say, I want to show a dog, I want a dog that's gonna be yanking the chain, I want a dog that's gonna do all those things that, what I'm saying, that like the people think are indicators of, what I'm saying, like quality. So I
yeah,
want that dog to go to that person, because I don't really care about that. Like that's cool. I produce dogs that have that, but I make
mhm,
sure those go to people that are going to use that. Whereas some people say, hey man, I live alone, I live in an apartment, what I'm saying? So they want a one or two super quiet dog, very, very chill, kind of a one person dog. And that dog works best for them. But a 3.5 to a 4 is perfect for me. You know,
mhm,
so when I'm looking at the litter, I'm looking at something that's balanced. It's gonna bark when I tell it to bark. It might bark a little bit at cats and stuff. It might bark at
yeah,
other dogs when it feel like it. You know what I'm saying? But it's just it's balanced enough to listen, to want to learn, to be engaged when we go on walks. It's pulling still, but if I'm walking around the area, don't know it's following me very, very closely. You know what I'm saying? I'm the pack leader. A 5 or 6, they want to be the pack leader. They want to
yeah.
lead. They want to do what they want to do. So it's for me, the assessment is based on several factors: the health being number one, and two being their aptitude and their attitude.
Gotcha. And when you go through the whole temperament test, man, what has that done versus ha- what's the difference between temperament testing and not temperament testing in your experience uh in choosing pups? You know.
Well, nothing is guaranteed, so I will say that. But I will tell you this as well: luck favors the prepared. So when you prepare and you have a roadmap of what you want to do, you can get there faster. You know what I'm saying? It might be a road that's closed this week. You know what I'm saying? They got under construction. So same thing with picking and choosing the right pup with the right genetics for what you're trying to do. So with the
Mhm.
temperament testing, without doing it, I'm just guessing. I'm like, okay, however this puppy is acting on the day that I go to pick it, you know what I'm saying? Or what I've seen over the last 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 3 months, however long I decided to wait until I pick a puppy. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going off of raw, unsaturated like energy. But when I do the
Okay.
temperament test, I'm like, okay, I do the temperament test, and then I score it, and then I'm able to check my scores based on how the puppy is responding after the fact. You know what I'm saying? So okay, cool.
Yeah.
I label this on a 5. He is a 5. He's tearing up shoes. He's destroying the other puppies. You know what I'm saying? He's doing all
Drive.
those things. Yeah, drive. Well, yeah, drive, intensity, aggression, all those
Yes.
things. And I'm able to see if my temperament test was accurate. So I tested to give me a baseline, and then I judged the baseline and I based the baseline or raise it and adjust it based upon the puppy's actions after the fact.
Okay. Now puppy placement. Now after you've done that and you going into puppy placement, has that temperament testing uh raise the chances of a better experience for the owner of the dog, and from your experience with temperament testing?
Uh, Based upon feedback, yes. Based upon feedback, yes. You know what I'm saying? You know, most people are more than most are happy with the product. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
It met their criteria. It has things. Everybody has things they want to tweak. You know what I mean? Because the dogs are bred for me, not for anybody else. So
Yeah,
they take that, and it's just like how you when you get a new pair of shoes. Some people lace them up like and leave them the way it was in the store. Other people want to take them and change the laces up and change that, and you got to tweak it. You got to tweak it to fit you. But
yeah,
the general baseline that's leaving house, man. I don't really get too many complaints back.
got you, got you. To the chat, what's happening, man? Hey, Dogman TV, bloodthirst in the building, man. Hey, to the chat though, man. How many of y'all temperament test y'all pups, man? You know, um,
Yeah.
Yeah, Toyo, what's happening, bro?
Salute, salute.
Hey,
Yeah, man.
yeah,
And shouts out to Solo but Connected and Brother Soul Power in the building. What's good, big dog?
hey, what's happening? Yeah. So, in your opinion or in your experience, what do you like? Uh, larger litters or smaller litters?
Shoot, I prefer 5 or less personally, man. The cleanup
Hmm.
is easier. You know what I'm saying? The watching them is easier. You know, like I ain't
Hmm.
gonna lie, man. When you have litters and they all look alike, man, you got 7, 10 puppies and they all look alike, man. It'd be hard to even tell. Is that the one I was watching yesterday? You know what I'm saying? You
Hmm.
gotta put different color collars on them. You know what I'm saying? They got limited
Yeah,
numbers of colors of collars, all kind of stuff. So
yeah,
hopefully they got different markings and different things of that nature, man. But I think 5 is like 5 and less is understandable and respectable. But
yeah.
yeah, man, like I said, I don't really sell a lot of dogs. Most of my dogs, like it'd be like one of my bros would be like, man, hey man, when you have another litter, man, you know what I'm saying, holler at your boy. You know what I'm saying? It's very
Yeah,
rare. It's very rare that just somebody not in the camp or somebody who I've been dealing with for years gets one of them without paying the price. So
yeah.
um,
So if if you were to have your own litter and the confidence that you had to let all your pups go and take the last pup, if you were to actually choose your pup, what would be your process of elimination? Uh, you don't. I know we talked about temperament testing and all of that. You wouldn't have to go through the process of breaking that down. But like, what would be your process of elimination if you had to choose one pup? Considerably your foundation dog.
all right, so the three qualities that I want my pups to exude is intelligence, mouth, and conformational soundness, right? Intelligence,
Hmm.
mouth, and conformational soundness. So those are things I look for. So I'm gonna do activities with all of them multiple times, like over the course of some months, maybe even the first
Hmm.
year.
Yeah.
And what I would say is, okay, a lot of mouth is cool, but if they all got it, then that's not a question. And so like with the Michonne litter, they all had mouth. Like they all did fun things. Like they were all tugging very very hard at an early age, and I'm like, that's only going to get better after the puppy teeth fall out and the adult teeth sit in their head. It's only going to
Hmm.
improve. You know. Also understanding like how to not discourage hard biting. A lot of people do a lot of tugging. A lot of people do a lot of hard tugging while the adult teeth are growing in. And what I've learned for me is that discourages
Hmm.
a lot of dogs, not all, but it discourages a lot of dogs from biting hard because the pain they felt as a puppy, it stays with them for life. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So they tugging with them while their adult teeth growing in, that their gums are sore, and it discourages the puppy from hard biting because they remember them bloody gums, they remember just hurting. So
Yeah.
uh, doing little tug games with them and doing things and allowing them baby teeth to fall out and them adult teeth to begin to settle into their head. Also making sure I don't rip out any teeth by doing so.
Hmm.
Then training, each one of them will spend a week in the house with me, solo from the rest of the puppies, so I can see how it's gonna interact. Start training the name, the sit, the down, etc. And
Yeah.
start seeing which ones pick it up the fastest. Who's picking this up fast? So who got mouth and who's picking this up fast? And then finally,
Yeah.
final assessment is okay. Once I have a skill level or a baseline of who's biting and who's training, then I move into who looks good. You know what I'm saying? Like who looks good doing it. You know,
Hmm.
and who meets the old Yeller standard. So that's my process. But Brother Flo had
Okay.
a question. I'm gonna read that question.
Yeah. Oh,
He
I was.
says
Yeah. Yeah.
he says
Go ahead.
question. Have you ever called a hound too early, then seen the animal sometime later and wanted to bring him or her back to your program? Uh,
Yeah. See, I was going to get to that. It's in the lineup. But yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah. Um, for me, nah, man. Like because of the whole training thing and like understanding like other breeds, not just American Bull Terrier for training. For me, the cull is basically gonna be lack of the want to do the training. You know what I'm saying? Like this dog, maybe they like to run the spring, like maybe they like to work the spring pole, maybe they like to work the slack mill, maybe they like to work the flirt. But when it comes time to say sit, they like, nah, bro, I want to go play with that ball over there. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
that's a quality that is not. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just not gonna be. is not good for what it's interrupting and it's inhibiting to what I'm trying to do. So for me, when I let them go, it's because they've been had adequate time, and I'm like, okay, this is not something I want to wait on. If somebody comes to me and buys a puppy and then they leave it in my training program, they expect me to produce a dog in 6 weeks to 8 weeks that is going to come to them with the qualities that I say my dogs can have. So if this dog doesn't meet that criteria, I mean, yeah, it can go to a home that doesn't care about their training stuff. That's cool. But as far as it being like the progenitor or being kept in my specific line, it's got to go. You know what I'm saying? It's got to go because it's messing with the program moving forward faster.
Okay. So yo, hey, what do you consider a good pup besides the health?
Besides the health, so they already got the mental and physical health thing down. So only thing I'm gonna need for them to have is some confidence, and then I'll put my hands on.
Okay. Hey, so all right. What's y'all opinion on the runt of the litter?
So you want to take that one first?
The runt. Majority speaking, I guess the runt would be the weakest one in the litter. You know, some would consider the weakest one in the litter, or the smallest one, the runt. So that's it.
But what's your opinion on it? As far as
I kind of agree, you know, but I also, you know, from back in the day, I've heard, like, you know, I'd heard different things about the runt. Like, some old heads say it's just the odd one in the bunch. It could be the biggest one. Sometimes they might call the runt, or the one that's just got something like a little deformity or something like that. Something that's, you know, something that's making it odd or whatever. But usually it's the weakest and the smallest that's considered the runt.
yes, sir. Man. Dre, what's your opinion on the runt?
So growing up, man, the runt to me was always the smallest. Or like Toyo said, the eye by. If they all pretty comparable in size, the eye man out. You know what I'm saying? The eye man out. But or just like you said, the weakest one. And when I say weakest, I refer to that as the one that's getting bullied. You know what I'm saying? Like, that dog is not commensurate with the tenacity and the, like, he's getting to the teats last. He's getting, when they start eating food, he's getting to the bowl last. Like, he is definitely not showing signs of dominance or a social or a place in a social construct of the yard. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. My fault, Big A. A better word I should have used instead of the weakest. I could use the slowest one, the slower one. The slower one in whatever the things they're doing. Like, he just a little slower than the other ones. That could be it too.
Okay. Now let's talk practices. So you have a litter of 5 or better, and you know, how do you go about maintaining those pups if you have a batch of hot pups?
If you got a good litter on the ground, and you said how you maintain them.
Yeah, as far as, you know, yeah. If you got some super hot pups at a young age or whatever.
Okay, well, I know we all learned in the community how to separate the jokers. I mean, that was a good thing that was thrown in the community. Like, once one of them jokers shows itself to be the alpha, remove them from the other ones, and it's going to be going in line like that. Keep on with each one that step up being the alpha. Boom, boom, you separate them. Boom, boom, boom. Let them talk to you. That way you listening already. Boom, boom, boom. And just keep their, basically, while they're young, you just keep them healthy as possible. Everything, the area is clean. Definitely just concentrate on health while they're young. While they're young, your most important thing should be the health of them, because the health is what's going to get them to grow like you want them to grow. You know, so it's always the emphasis on the health when you have a good litter or a bad litter. Just basically the health of them when they're young. basically that's the number one emphasis, in my opinion.
Okay. Okay. All right. What, Drake? What
Yo,
about you?
can you repeat the question?
If you had a batch of hot puppies, how would you maintain them as far as the keep? How would you keep them?
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
I don't think I should answer that on
Okay,
live.
okay.
Yeah,
Roger that. Roger that. I got you.
yeah,
Understand and yep,
yeah.
overstand.
Maybe members only. Like that'd be a good topic for me to cover. The members only. My
Okay.
perspective on it is a little different, and I don't think it's going to be
Yeah.
very, very socially acceptable for people who are not bulldoggers. So,
Roger that.
yeah.
On to the next one, man. At what age is your final decision on the pup you chose if you were in a position to choose a pup?
Honestly, man, probably like 2 years, 2 to 3 years.
Gotcha.
Yeah, 2 to 3 years.
Yeah, cause that's kind of going back to soul question. Shout out to Soul, cause you know, um, has there, have you made the wrong decision on a pup as far as letting the better pup go and seeing it, a couple of years later, and then you like, dang, uh, like Saki's brother, matter of fact, like Saki brother, you know.
Yeah. So, nah, and so this is where like you and your abilities kind of. So Saki's brother went to my captain, right? And so
Hmm.
so they never had an American Pit Bull Terrier before, and I called him, I called him Yoshi. They ended up changing him to Walter, but Yoshi was easier to train than Saki, but he wasn't as like, I don't know, aggressive and dominant as Saki, but he was definitely a bigger, stronger, better physique, easier to train, right? So would have been an easy dog for me to keep and probably build up. And I don't know, in my hands, he may have become more aggressive. But
Hmm.
I ended up keeping Saki anyways, you know what I'm saying? And it was one of those times where I let them pick which one they want,
Yeah.
So it could have like Saki could have definitely, him and his brother could have been in the opposite places very, very easily. But
Yeah.
I ended up training with my captain and being able to see the dog grow up. They did my training program every Saturday for a couple months. Got the dog right and everything. And so I saw his aptitude was higher than Saki's aptitude, but at the same time, I'm the trainer. So without
That's
me,
what I was about to say.
you know what I'm
It's
saying?
exactly what I was about to say.
Without me, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that dog could win anybody and been worse or better depending on their skill level and what it is they use it for. So it really didn't matter. You know what I'm saying? To me, it really didn't matter.
Yep. Because it's also the man behind the dog. You could have taken any one of them out the litter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's go to man. We got in the comments. Hey, Big C say we keep talking about runts. All of them are crap shoot, including the runt. I just let the pup choose me or keep the whole litter. Yeah.
Salute to that. Salute to that.
Yeah. Big facts.
Let me get the dog. I'm gonna pull it up real quick too while we doing this.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we did the dog of the week. We didn't do the dog of the month, and I want to give her credit as well today. So, all right, y'all. The current reigning dog of the month is ADBA champion Mirasol, owned by Native Gold. You already know the story behind her, man. But every day, you know what I'm saying, when you win our shows, man, I want it to be seen, man. I want people to see these dogs and understand them and appreciate them in a positive light. You know what I mean? Yeah, we got gimmicks and stuff like that, but I think the gimmicks are there's more people that know about these dogs now from the gimmicks than just not talking about them. You know what I'm saying? So definitely want to keep it very, very live and vibrant by allowing you to show a different dog weekly, monthly, annually, you know what I'm saying, quarterly, to continue to build on the legacy that everybody has in the game, not just us. We're not no suffering lollipop, But yeah, man. So shouts out to Native Gold for putting down this phenomenal animal. Salute.
Man, good looking dog. Solo said, my last breed in the runt smallest was the most aggressive and first to walk, first to get out the kiddie pool at that. So that's the one I kept. Yeah. Oh, needed do one of them yard videos again, man. Tony said them deer that came through and ate all the tops off his plants. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Hey, so
in the building.
why do you think a lot of people pick the wrong dog?
Toyo, tag.
You in?
Usually because the stuff they have in their head, the stuff that they already have in their head of what a good dog, of what a good dog is, of what a good dog is. So usually,
what's some misconceptions? What's some misconceptions?
Bro, I can't. It's a whole lot of misconceptions, but you know, it just it's all whatever's in your head. Usually, you know, your choice is your choice. So you know, how many times our choices be right? How many times does our choices be right? You did, you know what I mean? So it's just human error. You know what I mean? Human error.
Yeah, without a doubt, man. Because a lot of some people think the hottest pup out the batch is the one, and run off of that, and it might not be that one, man.
Yeah, but you just like you said, it might not be that one. There's nothing wrong with there's nothing wrong with using hot as one of your things in your brain that you looking for. You understand what I'm saying? So that's one of the things you putting in your head. So you can't be mad at really nobody but yourself when you make that selection, and don't really be mad. Like, you know what I mean? You going the best you can. You want a hot one, an outgoing one, not shy, all that, whatever, and it still might end up being the wrong one. So basically, like, human error. You know, at the end of the day, just do the best you can.
Yeah. I was about to say, and Big C said it too, some people let their loved ones or somebody close to them pick it. Their wife, kids, they let them do the picking. And then it's a chance by trial. Yeah, but let me jump to these nutrition facts. Nutrition facts of the day: colostrum. The first milk. What is it? Colostrum is the very first milk produced by the mother within the first 24 to 48 hours after giving birth. It's thicker, more yellowish, and packed with immune boosting properties that regular milk doesn't have. Why it matters? Antibodies. Colostrum is full of I can't even pronounce them big words. Somebody can get it. Immunoglobulins, whatever it is.
Hemoglobins.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Essential antibodies that help puppies fight. I know what it is. I just can't. Off infections and viruses during the first weeks of life. Passive immunity. Newborn puppies are born with undeveloped immune systems. So colostrum is the first and only defense until the bodies begin to build their own. Growth factors. It also contains hormones and growth factors that help gut development, muscle growth, and overall puppy development. Critical window. Puppies can only absorb the antibodies in colostrum during the first 12 to 24 hours after birth. After that, the digestive systems change and antibodies can't be absorbed effectively. I didn't know that one. You know what I'm saying? Real breeder tip. If a puppy doesn't nurse in those first few hours, you can only use colostrum supplements. Goat-based synthetic to help, but nothing beats the real thing from a healthy Dane. Bottom line, colostrum is liquid gold. If your pups miss it, they're more vulnerable to illness and growth problems. Prioritize early, nursing or having backups ready if the Dane struggles. There you have it.
Yes, sir. The first 2 weeks of a puppy's life is the most important. The first 2 weeks.
Mhm. Yeah.
For sure.
As far as him being able to deal with his environment. That's what I mean by that.
Okay.
Brother Constant Pressure, Brother Spring, welcome to the panel.
hmm
Salute, salute, salute. How y'all doing this morning?
Always
Yeah.
great to have a man.
So Skip got a question though. He say, so if you say you don't want the dog, being that you purchased a dog and you don't like what you purchased, do you take the dog back to the breeder or do you give it to someone? I'll take me personally, the first person I'm calling is the breeder. Because the breed for me, if I really didn't want the dog, the breeder might have a home for that dog. I would definitely talk to the breeder first.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'd say the same thing, man. Always contact your breeder that you got it from. If you see something you don't like or doesn't sit well with you and you feel like you can't keep the dog because of those reasons, I think it's always a good idea to contact the breeder. For one, you're giving him a heads up on what he's dealing with, or what others may be dealing with in that litter, you know, and he'll be able to, maybe give it back if you pay for it. Maybe he'll give you the money that you paid for it back if you return it, and he can assess them in the proper manner that way, and
Mhm.
move forward accordingly. Maybe it's just something that you couldn't handle. Maybe it's something that nobody should be able to, or nobody should have to deal with. You know what I mean? So, I think the breeder will be a good judgment of that.
Sir,
Yes, sir. Who's that? Constant? Salute, Constant. Yeah.
hey,
Salute, brother. Much love.
hey, Supreme, what's happening, bro?
Man, waiting on my personal trainer to wake up so I can go to the gym.
Mm, gotcha. Yeah, man. So, you got a whole litter of pups, and you know, you can't make your mind up. But you can only keep one. How long do you keep those pups for to make your decision?
Me
Say it
personally,
again. Oh, go ahead.
oh,
I ain't here.
I ain't in no rush. Shit, it's gonna be a grown dog
yeah, yeah,
before I
for sure.
even. Yeah, I ain't in no rush. It ain't
Yeah,
even gonna be no puppy no more. It's gonna be like two and a half, three. Man, 2.5, 3 years, and then by that
yeah,
time I might have found the role for it. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Yes, sir.
yeah,
If I only had the chance to choose one, I'm gonna try to at least give them to you know at least 7, 8 months, at least, just to make my choice. Um, and this is for mostly people like this. They're gonna choose the people who aren't in it for the money because it's easy to sell little cute puppies. You know what I mean? But it's not as easy
yeah,
to sell big dogs. So a lot of people who are in it to, make their dogs better, they'll keep them longer. The people who are in it for money, they want them gone by 8 weeks. You know.
yeah,
Yes, sir.
man.
I agree with that.
Everybody, everybody want that litter until the pups hit that 12 week mark, and they like, come get these bad boys now,
Yes,
man.
sir. It's not easy, man. It's not easy.
Nah,
Whelping, and I take my hat off to breeders, who do it the right way and are up on their game. It's not easy to be a breeder, and if somebody getting in, man, a litter of 12 puppies, a litter of 10 puppies, it'll show you that you don't want to do this.
mhm. Yep,
if you know.
yeah, man, for sure. Yeah,
Dre, them dogs look like they mad as shit at you for feeding them some fucked up food or something. He running around with that chef thing on. Bad chef, bad chef. I know that's right.
Man,
Malabar and the pit bull out that jump.
Chef off South Park.
They like, nigga, we know you got the real food. Where the real food at? We tired of them snacks.
Yeah. What? Hey, so what are some little small you know exercises of what you would call it that you would do with the pups? So some people hang a rag on the on their little setup or whatever. Let the pups pull on the rag. I mean, what's your process after after the eyes open and they get
Hey,
moving around.
little like me, much running around as they can. You much let them run around as much as they can. You know what I mean? That's my thing. Let them run around, and you could throw stimulants while they running around. You could throw little stimulants in there, like little colorful balls or whatever, little colorful things, anything. Just those stimulants. Everything is stimulating them. But I just let them run around, and let them run
Yeah,
around, and then I shock the crowd with sounds or stimulants.
that's
Throw it in
right.
and see how they react. That's all. Those
Yeah.
different things.
That's
Have
right.
fun with the puppies. That's all.
Everything stimulating.
Yeah.
I'll put a picture of a big heel up and let the puppy scratch into it. See which one get to it first. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
So what does that do as far as the progression of the pups?
Well, shoot, it gets them up out of that pen together real soon. Shoot, once you start once you start activating their prey drive like that, man, it's gonna be time for separation real soon. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
sir. Yes, sir.
Uh,
Yeah.
shoot, the longer, the sooner you start introducing stuff like that rag hanging from the cage, or sooner you start doing the chicken on the end of the rope, and that's what turns them up. So you better be ready to separate them real soon. You know.
Uh, what are some? Can you give me some instances where you had to um, have hands on at either saving the pup or reviving pups? And can you tell us about that?
Well, uh, I can't. I don't really have anything. Like basically, the most I could tell you, like, see, I just been lucky. So like, when stuff happened really messed up to me or something like that,
Hmm.
I still got contact with the old heads that I could just run up there to them and all that. So basically, like, the importance of having somebody. If you don't know yourself, it's important to have people around you that have dog experience. That's very important. Emphasize that if you had these dogs, if you ain't really tightened up on the medical or the health part of it, like
Hmm.
your first move should be getting in con. Your first move should developing a relationship with a vet, or definitely finding somebody that has a lot of experience and taking care of the American Pit Bull Terrier. That's the best thing I could tell you.
Gotcha.
My last litter, shoot, they were I think like maybe like close to like 2.5 weeks premature.
Hmm.
Um, maybe 3 weeks premature, and
Hmm.
I had to stimulate those some of those pups because they were coming out. They came out. A lot of them came out underdeveloped and real weak. You know,
Hmm.
underdeveloped so as much as like they couldn't really latch onto their moms.
Hmm.
Um, so I had to assist them with that. But before I had to do that, I had to stimulate them and make sure that with a rag and make sure that they were warm and make sure that they I got a little incubator for mine, so that incubator is real clutch, for pups that are cold and don't really have the mom's attention too much. And you put them in that incubator, and it provides a little extra oxygen for them and heat. So I had to go through that process. First, the first 4 days or so, they couldn't even latch on their mom by themselves. So that was a constant work. That was some constant work I had to do. I
Hmm.
had to separate them from their mom at times, and then bring them back to their moms and feed them. Hold them up there on the nipple. I had to substitute their mom with a bottle sometimes.
Hmm.
Um, for the first 4 days, it was like that. So that's a full time job right there. For those that don't know,
Yeah.
no sleep. You could pretty much forget about sleep those 4 days. You're gonna be working and working and working, and then you're gonna have to sleep by them puppies. You're not gonna be able to go get in your bed and be cozy. You're gonna have to sleep right next to them. If you want them to
Mhm.
survive. Some people really serious about those pups surviving. I know some people who don't care if it don't work out, it just don't work out. But for me, I'm real serious about it.
So, immune system, right? Nature has its natural way of calling. Do you allow some things as far as weak immune system? Weaker pups that you don't think will have a long chance at survival. Do you let nature take its process, or do you try to save that pup, knowing that it could have a whole bunch of health problems and so on and so forth in the future?
Me, with me, I think it would be more harmful to if something is wrong with that pup, as though it's going to be something that ain't going away, ain't something going away. Uh, I think it would be better off for the dog if you humanely uh, put it down or whatever.
Mhm.
But I can understand the love of the dogs, whereas though somebody just might have a home for that. That might be somebody's pick. Like I want that one because you got some people that their thing about the dogs is they like to be nurturing. It's a lot of people out here that they different styles with these dogs. So some people they whole thing that make them click. They like to take the runts. They like to take the deformed one. They like to get the sick ones. There's always somebody around you that wants to put their hands on something and they're trying to develop their hands. They want to it's just like a natural gift. Like it's some people that just they kind of that stuff attracts to them. Like some people come
Yeah,
to the litter and they see that sickly one.
yeah,
That's more attractive to them. It's just different
yeah.
strokes for different folks. You know what I mean?
Facts, big facts.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. It's kind of similar to that. Everybody who always picked that run. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
He came from
Yeah,
the bottom. He came from the mud. So when you got a dog that struggled and it was hard. It was hard. It had a hard time making it. The concept of that is that it's gonna be stronger than everybody else. It's gonna be, you know, and that's not always the case. But a lot of the times, just us having faith and stuff like that, we believe in that,
yeah. So,
especially some of us, we came from the bottom,
Yes,
we had
sir.
yeah,
our umbilical cords wrapped around our neck and we had our,
yeah,
at birth, and
yeah.
Yes, sir.
Now,
Real
because
talk. Real talk.
I, I've heard of certain cases where certain dogs have been saved, um, that were, on its last leg. If it don't make it through the night, it ain't coming out, type deal, and it turned out to be uh, a pretty good dog. Um, but then you do see those cases where the mother discards the pup, won't let the pup feed, you know, eat the pup, whatever. But there are those cases, and I've seen people try to save those pups, and I've seen people just let nature take its course. So that was part of the reason why I was asking that question.
We have an example in the community too of a dog that was taken out the litter and raised
Hmm.
by Mr. Garcia's wife, Mr. Rowdy, and
Yeah.
look at Mr. Rowdy and whatever, and you can see an example of it. Salute.
Hmm. Yeah, salute. Hey, salute schoolboy, man. Salute your wife coming home, bro. You know, big
Oh,
time.
she home? She home?
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, salute, salute. It's El
Salute.
Capitano, salute, salute the Queen, Garcia.
Man, I know that's a blessing. Yeah. Hey, y'all don't forget, man. We got Dog of the Week coming up. There's some heavy hitters in there this week,
Hey
and we
Garcia, I
got
hope that house was clean when she got home and then you wasn't smoking in the house. I hope you were smoking outside.
yeah, we got the digital dog show coming up at the end of the month. It's every month. You can miss this month and catch it next month. But I tell you what, it's going down in May. That is a for sure go. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, man, we got about 5 minutes left on this portion of the show, and then we're going over there to cook out with Big Toyo. Make sure y'all go right over there as soon as this show is over with. Head right over to cook out with Big Toyo. Logo on the screen right now. You know what I'm saying? We got an early morning lineup. We do different things, Toyo takes a little bit deeper, a little bit more gutter with it. You know what I'm saying? So like, if the vibe is cool here, you know what I'm saying? You can take your hair down and really get loose over there with Big Toyo.
Yeah.
And then after that, the great brother Elevated Kennels, he comes through with an elevated perspective, a little different, a little more scientific, a little more science-based breeding and pit bull strategies, as well as open conversations over there as well. Typically, they drop the link very early in their shows. So if you had something you want to get off your chest, holler them brothers. You know what I'm saying? And I want to say this too. Each one of our shows has their own identity. You know what I'm saying? So like, they don't have to do what I do. I don't have to do what they do. You know what I mean? There's no constraints. There's no constraints, man. We just having fun and talking dog all day. Talking dog all day. And better people as well.
Yes, sir. Know what it is, man.
Yeah, I might go get Pops, let him cook on the grill today. Well, I might go get Pops, let him cook on the grill today. So
Yeah.
y'all know what he gonna have on the grill, all types of stuff. Come at your own risk and eat at your own risk.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. Yes, sir, man. But yeah, man, y'all brothers, man. Like I said, we got about 5 minutes left in this show, so y'all brothers go and cook on whatever y'all want to cook on, and then it can just spill over to the cookout. You know what I'm saying? We can walk into the cookout arguing, or we can walk into the cookout laughing. You know what I mean? It's up to y'all.
Yeah, man. Yes, sir, man. Man.
Hey, Big A, I'm gonna go see if I can go get Pops anyway. I'm gonna go ahead over the cookout before y'all niggas come down there asking where the food at and shit. So,
Roger that.
Salute.
Salute. Yes, sir. Yeah, man. Man, we got that digital dog show coming up. I'm excited about that one, bro.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah.
Very much so, man. And brother Constant Pressure, brother Supreme, thank y'all for coming through, man. We genuinely appreciate y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? It always adds value to the show to have an outside perspective or just a different perspective come through and show love and share that knowledge with us.
Yeah. Man, what's the update on Kazi, man?
So she's in day 4 right now. Checked it yesterday, her flow picked up. You know what I'm saying? I expected between tomorrow and Saturday for the blood to change to like that straw color, that orange color. And then by Sunday, Monday, you know what I'm saying, she should be in that zone that I like to breed in, where the vulva is actually going back down, but she's emitting an odor that just makes the male dogs go crazy. And yeah, man.
You got neighbors both of your neighbors have dogs?
Yep, both of them got dogs. But both of them have female dogs that are fixed. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't no problem. It ain't no problem at all. And I'm more worried about. So like I'd be more worried about like a coyote smelling me trying to jump the fence. You know what I'm saying? So I keep her inside when I'm not present.
Hey, they do that though. I'm talking about like they'll try to stick.
I don't know. I'm not taking no chances though. You know what I'm saying? I don't want no coyote mutt bulls on my yard. You know what I'm saying? So I think the possibility is there. So I'm not even risking it. I'm not even risking it.
Story time. Speaking of, man, real quick, man. Back in the day, one of my friends, he had I remember talking about having a kennel off the ground. You set up off of the ground. He didn't. He had a his bitch came in heat, and the stray dog stuck to him, and he didn't want the pups, so he took the pups and discarded the pups. And this was years ago. It's 20 plus years, man. And he had dug them in the ground. She dug the pups up, and from that point on, she would every time he mated her, she would kill the pups.
For sure. Dang.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And yeah, it's so.
She been gone fucking with me.
Yeah, but I mean, she was a good dog, man. But I mean, like, I don't know, man. You know, these things can happen.
Oh yeah, they can and will. They can and will. But nah, man, y'all brothers, go ahead and do y'all plugs, man, because I got something I want to release today. Big A, I'm releasing a song today, bro. Put it out, bro. That song is fire. That song is fire. I'm excited. You know what I'm saying? I'm a kid.
Oh man. Yeah.
I'm a kid in the candy shop, so definitely got to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm proud. You know what I'm saying? I'm proud, man. We got our new artists coming through. You know what I'm saying? It's live. It's live. It's fun. It's exciting. So I'm genuinely excited about that, and I'm ready for y'all to hear it. So Supreme and Big A, if y'all ain't got no more plugs, man, I'm gonna go ahead and do my prayer and get us up out of here, man. You know what I'm saying? And then we'll launch at the cookout with Big Toyo.
Don't get us out of here then.
All right, man. For those of y'all who know, I like to end my shows with a prayer. You know what I'm saying? Obviously to just boost the energy in the network, man. You know what I'm saying? Boost the energy in the network. And additionally, I would like to say that you know, our Neo Dogman chant is always in the show with For the Love of the Dogs, and the expected responses for the love of the game. You know what I'm saying? So let's go ahead and do that. May the Lord watch between you and me while we are absent, one from another. Amen.
Amen.
For the love of the dogs.
For the love of the game.
For the love of the game.
Hey, salute, man. Salute, fellas. I see y'all already at Big Toyos.
Drop slow, hit not flow. Blood don't lie, it's that old yellow line. Sack it from the south, Michonne on the rise. Boogeyman bark, leave a mark every time. We don't breathe for clout, we breathe for spine. DNA thick, can't clone this pride. That Shogun blood, yeah, the legends don't die. Started with Boogeyman, ghost in the chain, locked in the game, never moved for fame. Old mountain lines run deep in the flame. Talk about the fire, Michonne brought the name, then came Fat Boy, muscle in the frame. Man, hard, put respect on the name. Shotgun smooth, but the work insane. Sugar sweet jit, but a bite ain't tame. Kiki in the back, had a game in the veins. Gatorade heavy, running straight through the rain. Red Ninja close, watch him work in the lane. Renegade rider can't hold that chain. Blood don't lie, it's that old yellow line. Saki from the south, Michonne on the rise. Boogeyman bark, leave a mark every time. We don't breathe for clout, we breathe for spine. DNA thick, can't clone this pride. That Shogun blood, yeah, the legends don't die. Ain't no luck, just grit and grind. Every dog here put work in time. Lady Rage got that fire in her eyes. Red alert taught us how to recognize signs. Blood heavy like a 2-ton chain. Everything proven, no need to explain. They asked what's in it, that yellow campaign. Built off real, we don't fake no strain. Second was the flame, Michonne lit the wick. If you know, then you know that line too slick. From the field to the show, every move so thick you can't blueprint this. It's the legacy pick. Blood don't lie, it's that old yellow line. Sack it from the south, Michonne on the rise. Boogeyman bark, leave a mark every time. We don't breathe for clout, we breathe for spine. DNA thick, can't clone this pride. That Shogun blood, yeah, the legends don't die.